Dr. Dhawraj, just talk to us then about the indications of what we're currently seeing on the ground. I mean, in some instances, at some voting stations, we're seeing snaking queues. Is that an indication of anything in terms of turnout at this early stage?
Thanks, Unasi, and a very good afternoon to all our viewers as well. Just watching this broadcast from the Results Operations Center here at Gallagher Estate. Obviously, if you look at those snaking queues, it kind of reminds you back to 1994, what happened. People were excited, people were jubilant. It was a new South Africa, dawn of democracy. 30 years later, 30 years of democracy. So very exciting times for all registered South Africans, voting in these elections. I think it's a little too presumptuous to actually make anything of it as yet. It's very encouraging, absolutely. Like the IEC, they held a media briefing a little while ago. They were very encouraged by the long lines. It does tell us that, people went out in their numbers to vote today. And in one particular voting station right here in Midrand, Gauteng, there was a voting station with long lines, very, very long lines. I think at that voting station, some 6,000 people were actually registered to vote, and they were waiting patiently, some as much as 3.5 hours or more. But I think if you read too much into those numbers too early, I think that would be kind of misleading. But I'd like to remind our viewers as well, going back to 2019, most people generally vote in the first 4 hours of voting stations opening. So we kind of know where the election is moving towards between 7 and 11. Now, because in these elections, these general elections, we've got 3 ballots, I think that time will probably be extended to maybe between 7 and 12. We probably get an idea of, how the election will turn out for all 52 parties that's running on the national ballot, and obviously the other parties, running provincially. But I think in the first 5 hours, but I think it's still very, very misleading. Voting stations close at 9 p.m. tonight. If you're still standing in the line, you will be allowed to vote, cast your ballot, once all voting stations close, wherever you are around the country. And when counting officially begins, that's the only time that we can actually talk about this so-called phrase, voter turnout. But I think now it's too early.
All right, thanks for that, Dr. Dhawraj.